Now, some might suggest that the former royal known as Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, has been less than kind to His Majesty the King, King Charles III. As we know, he's currently ongoing battle with his health issues, and everybody on our channel wishes him the very best. But some might suggest that the recent visit by his youngest son was really just the tip of the iceberg, simply because what then developed after the whistle-stop tour back here in London really was the icing on the cake. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for joining. We'll have a quick wave. You all right? Yeah, I'm not so bad, thank you. We're in, of course, a very glitzy area in Mayfair here in the very heart of London. And yes, another phone box. None of them work. It does make me laugh, actually. But we like to stand near them because it's British, isn't it? It's iconic. It's a bit like our Union Jack flag, which certain people, as you now know, don't want to wave at Eurovision. Yes. What are they? Oh, please. Why do we bother with these people? Don't get me going. As you know, certain people that you may not want to bother with, particularly if you are His Majesty the King, King Charles, who's still battling along with his health issues. And I admire the fact that he's getting out there at garden parties, wanting to go to Royal Ascot and trying to live his best life, despite what's going around him, of course, with his family and the distractors and, shall we say, negative people who are not necessarily supportive of what he does for us. What's interesting, really, when you think about it, is Prince Harry. I mean, His Majesty the King was right to kick him to the curb. Clearly, Harry wanted some sort of kudos by meeting with His Majesty the King. And as we now know, there were certain demands and certain sort of, shall we say, well, how can we put this nicely? Let's put it this way. His Majesty the King was having none of it. But what was interesting, as we told you a couple of weeks ago, how His Majesty really would have liked to have seen his two grandchildren. And this was all because apparently that Meghan couldn't leave them because of security and all of that sort of issue. But what happened on the night that Harry was flying back out from the United Kingdom over to Nigeria on a 5-hour flight overnight, literally, was this. As we now know, Meghan Markle was residing, waiting for Prince Harry in the aptly named Windsor Suite at Heathrow Airport. And basically, this is an exclusive lounge, bedrooms, showers, food, whatever you need. It is ultimate luxury in the very heart of Heathrow. Now, not many people knew that Meghan Markle was flying into London. We were told that she was flying to Nigeria separately. But according to a very well-placed source, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, Meghan was very keen that this got out, that she was in London. Now, think about that. There is a woman who could have gone in the afternoon, literally, to see those children for the Invictus Games, Scotty's little soldiers. She could have, in fact, as she had already slid herself into London without being found out, popped along to see, or indeed at least made some effort to try and reach out to His Majesty the King. I know a lot of people would say he wouldn't want it, but this is where we're at. So what happened was this, that she made sure, along with Harry, that everybody knew that she was waiting, in fact, in the Windsor Suite. And that really upset, apparently, His Majesty the King. He felt that if she could come all this way over via London, why couldn't she have brought at least one of the children? Not just to partake in this Nigerian tour, but more importantly, perhaps he could have met them. And this is truly where we're at right now. When you think about it, it is double standards. Apparently they can't leave their place because of security, but suddenly they're disappearing for days on end halfway around the world. Which is it? And this is part of the reason why, as I told you before, His Majesty the King has to move away from such stressful situations. But it appears these sort of stressful situations that are leaked through to the media, you simply can't escape from. And whoever you are, you must feel a little bit sorry for the situation that he finds himself in. A caring grandfather at 75 years plus, looking in his eyes to do the very best that he can for his family, that he thought he'd done his very best for. Even, of course, walking Meghan Markle halfway down the aisle. Simply, it's never enough. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.